Everybody knows that free-to-play players have it rough. But what are the 5 best ways to reliably get gems in Lords Mobile for a free-to-play player? Well, let's go ahead and tackle that subject right away. Now, I did a video like this probably around a year and a half to 2 years ago. And since then, Lords Mobile has added a lot of things. So I think it's time to go ahead and revisit this topic. Now, first and foremost, the first thing is, in this game, the most important thing is an active guild. If you're not in an active guild, it's going to kill the fun of the game. You're not going to want to regularly log in or stay active chatting, etc. If you're not in an active guild, the game itself is just not going to be fun. So that's the first thing that you should look forward to as a free-to-play player. If you're not in one, look for one. Because the guild gifts are one of the main things as a free-to-play player you will have that'll give you not only gems, but other things like speed-ups, etc, that you are going to need. Energy, all of that good stuff, even the resources, it all stacks up. So an active guild is going to be very beneficial. Now, I have about 295 gifts that I have not opened, so we'll go ahead and open it here and just give you a rough estimate as to how many gems ideally you would want to get in a day if you are in an active guild. So let's go ahead and open these gifts up and let's see. So right off the bat, that's 600 gems. Of course, I'm not going to be even talking about all the speed ups and all the other stuff I get, but there goes another 800 gems. Let's see, what else do we got? Let's see, there goes 200 more gems. We got some energy, some resources. There's 1,000 gems right there. Another 200 gems. And the speed ups, do not forget about the speed ups, the shields as well, because as a free-to-play player, you want to have a good stack of shields. There goes 400 more gems. Now I've lost track, but that's probably like a good 3,000 or so gems, give or take. So not too shabby, especially just for a day. And this is what a good active guild can provide you. Let's see, there goes 400 more gems. Let's see what else. There goes 800 gems. There goes another 800 gems. So I don't know, I lost track already, but let's just say that it's in the 5,000 gem range, as well as all the other stuff. Now, the first thing that free-to-play players will say is, well, I can't get into a really active guild because I'm free-to-play. And that is a very bad way of looking at it, because even in our guild, we have free-to-play players that do their part. They make sure that they do everything, they're active, they do all the events, etc. So as long as you're an active player and you know what you're doing, a lot of guilds will be open to having you in their guild, so long as you bring something to that and you're not just there for gifts. So with that in mind, that is the #1 way as a free-to-play player that you can reliably get gems. Now, what is number 2? Number 2 is, of course, the Colosseum. Now, of course, as a free-to-play player, it's going to be much harder for you to get in the top 50, top 100, depending on what kind of heroes you have and where your account is. But if you have a decent team, so let's take out all the heroes that I have that are pay to play, and let's just go with straight free-to-play. If I go with something like this, that could take me very far, especially if you can keep a team together. So we'll do something like, let's see, Demon Slayer, just like that, and then Prima Donna, just something like this. This can get you very far. Now, it won't keep you in the #1 spot, or you'll have trouble probably getting in the top 20, top 30, but if you keep on at it, you can definitely do pretty well. Now, the good thing about the Colosseum is that even if you get bumped down to the 200s, the 100s, if you consistently stay in one spot, like top 100, top 50, etc., this is going to start stacking up. Now, keep in mind that it stops at 20,000, so once you get it to 20,000, you want to go ahead and make sure that you collect it, like I should do right now. But this is another way of actually keeping gems without it being in your actual account. Like, say it's emergency gems, you go a few days, maybe you'll have 3,000 or 4,000 gems there, and then something happens and you need to get like a relocator or something, you'll have these gems right here. And if not, if you're just saving up gems, By the time you get to 15, 16,000, you can go ahead and collect them, not even worry about it. Not only does it help you understand the Colosseum more, but it's going to reward you by holding a specific spot, whether it's top 50, top 100, etc. So that is absolutely one of the best ways as a free-to-play player to get gems. Just know that you're not going to hold a top spot. Just try to stay as high as possible. So let's go ahead and collect this while we're here, because it is going to give me more gems in an hour and a half. So might as well collect it while we're here. Now, of course, the number 3 thing is going to be the treasure trove. Now, I know that probably you guys already know about the treasure trove, but there's actually a couple of things that I wanted to go over. Treasure trove, you ideally want to always do the 30-day deposit. Now, I've also seen people when they deposit it, 10 days later they somehow want to cancel it because they need the gems back, etc. Never cancel it, because you're just doing yourself a disservice if you cancel it, unless it's just like a real emergency. And I'm talking like a real emergency. Don't cancel this, because you're just hurting yourself. The 30-day deposit is ideally what you always want to go for, because the basic interest is going to be the best, and so is the bonus interest. Is all going to be working out in your favor. Make sure that you always have it going, meaning that as soon as you collect it, 30 days have gone and you collected, make sure that those collected gems you put right back into another 30-day deposit. You want to have this thing working for you 24/7. But not only that, once you have this unlocked in your account, remember that there is research to actually boost this. So if you go over to Army Leadership, you get here max deposit, and once you max it out, it'll give you 10,000 gems more that you can deposit. As a free-to-play player, this is actually very attainable, because it is very early on in this tree. So very easy to get. You probably don't even need to use many speed ups to get there. You can just start researching and passively get there, so it's not that big of a deal. The other one is in military command. Now this one is a little bit further down, but keep in mind that you don't need to necessarily get it all the way up to level 10. If you get it to 6, 7, maybe even 8, that's still going to be good. So if you can focus on these 2 max deposits, you'll be doing a great service for yourself in the long run, because as a free-to-play player, you have to be thinking long term, not short term. You really can afford to think short term, because free-to-play players, you got to play the long game. Now, we've covered most of the really important stuff. Now here comes the next one, which is Monster Hunt. Now, of course, as a free-to-play player, the first thing that you probably will want to focus on is T4. But once you're done with T4, and I've heard people say, well, free-to-play players can't get T4. That's not true. But once you get done with T4, you want to go ahead and try to do as much monster hunting research as you possibly can, because when you monster hunt, there's 2 things that happen. Number 1, you're going to be helping your guild. Number 2, you're going to be helping yourself. So there's a level 3 Frostwing right here. We're going to go ahead and hunt it, not just because we have a chance at gems and other items, but because right now, there is some snowballs that we can actually collect. So I'm all for that. Now, the first hit is 10% on this level 3. Keep in mind, depending on what your account is at, as far as the research, etc., you might be hunting level 1s, you might be hunting level 2s. Don't really know. But no matter if you're hunting level 1s or level 2s, consistently hunting, and not just, and when I say that, I don't just mean like send a ×12 out a monster and do like 30% and call it a day. No, ideally you want to actually take this monster down, that way your whole guild get this gift, because a lot of people don't actually think of it like this. You think of killing this level 3 and you think of, okay, I got 1 box, but think about it. Everybody in your guild gets that 1 box, so it's actually potentially up to 100 boxes that you are giving your guild. And when you think about it like that, that is a huge gain for your guild every single day. Now we'll go ahead and take down this Frostwing real quick, and then we'll go over the hits to see if we got any gems at all. But just like the guild gifts, when you're doing monster hunt, you don't even have to worry too much at just specifically the gems. There's other items that are going to be great for you. There is speed ups, there is going to be holy stars. Hell, you might even be able to get the real rare item of whatever monster you're hunting, like for instance the Frostwing Heart here. So there's always the possibility of that. So just keep that in mind. I think one more hit and we should be able to take this down. Here we go. One more hit and then we'll check all of those and see if we got any gems at all. And let's go ahead and finish it off. Here we go. And finished. All right. So let's take a look at the Frostwind. We got some speed ups. There it goes. One hit, 400 gems in that one hit. As you can tell, it's definitely worth it. There we go. There's also a couple of other ones that I hunted earlier, and they also be given some gems. So look at this, 400 gems on this hit, as well as all the other resources, speed ups, all of that good stuff. So monster hunting, very important, not only for yourself, but for the guilds. And of course, the very last thing, number 5, we have guild events, and that is KVK, because remember, if you do your solo, you're gonna get plenty of items, some gems, etc. Your guild finishes, you're gonna be getting some more, all of that good stuff. Of course, if you find an active guild, because remember, that's the number one thing that you should be looking for in this game, is an active guild that you actually enjoy, then that means that your guild fest should be doing fairly well, and that means that those rewards are going to be pretty good. And in Guild Fest, as well as a lot of other guild events, there is a ton of opportunities to get gems. But again, not just gems, you get a ton of other rewards that you can actually benefit from as a free-to-play player. Now that we got those 5 things out of the way, and those things that are what you should be focusing on as a free-to-play player, I'm gonna give you a little bonus extra. When we're talking about guild gifts, you also get a ton of energy from there, not just gems. Now, why is this important? Now, the energy is important for monster hunting, but I'm going to give you a piece of advice. When you are a free-to-play player and you take all of this energy, do not use energy to go and monster hunt regular monsters. What I would suggest you do is hoard all of this energy that you have. Try to use as little as possible, if not at all. And then use all of this energy when the event monster comes around. Now, when I say the event monster, I mean monsters like the Phantom Knight. In those event monsters, if you full hit them, you get a ton of speed ups, you get holy stars. You then can use those holy stars to go over to the labyrinth. And then once you get a gemming gremlin, etc., you'll be able to get a ton of gems from that, as well as all the other stuff that the labyrinth offers. So if you get those energies, make sure you save it and use it on event monsters like the Phantom Knight, etc., because that usually comes around, I'm seeing a pattern of coming around every 2 months or so, but give or take a couple of weeks. So that gives you plenty of time to save up your energy and only use it for that specific thing, because not only is it going to give you a ton of speed ups, etc., but the holy stars, you can then transform it into other things. So hopefully you guys find this video informational and helpful, and it'll help you steer the right way in order to continue advancing as a free-to-play player. Yeah, appreciate you guys for watching, and until later.